Hey guys, I am Susan from Orange Light Energy. Resistant to do this video. This one's a personal one. I'm gonna talk a little bit about my own healing journey. I'm guessing they're pushing me past some blocks because being vulnerable is not my favorite thing. I'm gonna talk about some things that I've been going through because it felt very much that this talks more to the healing journey than my specific wound. So there might be information in this and the message that I was given that can help other people to better understand their path or to be able to find understandings that can help. Said it's about my journey. So I've got my bird pillow. I've got myself a crystal. I'm gonna ask nicely that they don't make me cry when I'm talking about this, but it feels important. There's a lot happening right now. I'm recording this on June 5th, 2025. A few days ago, we had a planetary alignment, 6 planets aligned in the 6th month. So there's probably some significance to that. Tomorrow, probably today, if you're watching this when it first comes out, because I will put this live, I think, on the 6th, which will be the portal day, 6/6. But we also have a full moon coming up on the 11th. I think it's a strawberry moon. Either way, we're in the middle of this kind of vortex of really strong energies that are bringing up a lot of really intense feelings, a lot of things to clear. So maybe me talking about this can help you see that differently. I felt so strongly I was supposed to talk about this, that there must be something that is going on with that. I made myself notes to try and stay on track, but realistically then I'm going to read to you the information that was given to me by Goddess Isis when I was working in the healing music, how she explained to me what she was helping me with, what it was that was being released. The way that she spoke about this seemed specific to my wounds, but also something that could apply to the journey a lot of us are on. But it's an example too, for anybody who's been hesitant to do one of our sessions, people who don't know what to expect, to just have an understanding of how this information can be given, how they'll show you the wound, help you with the wound, explain to you how to move past it, the next steps. Obviously, I would never share somebody else's notes, but this is my path, and I guess it's my choice to share it. So, I can bring it to you in this way. So, like I said, this is my own personal journey. Recently, it's been showing itself to me in a more physical way instead of just the emotional side of things. Nothing too serious, nothing life-threatening, but it's a path that can be helpful to talk about. One of my biggest wounds, and you'll find each of us has, what are the things we really wanted to deal with in this life? What are the things that keep coming back up, the themes that keep recurring, the things that we struggle with the most? For me, one of the things that comes up is maternal wounding. Maternal wounding, it's wounding from either this lifetime, past lifetimes, a mixture of the two, around childbirth, children, mothering, how you've been treated, what are your experiences around these things. Like I said, for some, it may be triggered by your experiences in this lifetime, but none of us are new souls, really. We've been here a lot of times, and what else has happened that now is being triggered or that we're holding on to that needs to be released? I'll put the disclaimer here. If any of my family are watching, I'm not talking about you. This is not, for me, about things that happened in this lifetime. It's very much past life wounding that I'm clearing. So this path for me, it's been long. It's one of the first wounds I ever saw. It's probably the first vision I ever had of a past life, and I didn't understand it. That's where other people sometimes can help you, can bring you context. They can, help you to understand why you may see something, help you to walk through it and to better understand it. But it has been a constant for me, something that has shown up on and off for as long as I have been working on my healing journey. So when I came to this the other day, I felt guided to work with Isis. You know, she, right from when I first started working in her energy, before I even had the service, she stepped forward, and the things that she was helping me with were related to maternal wounding. You know, she talked to me a lot about past experiences, specifically around my experiences of being a mother, of having children in other lifetimes, and where things had brought forward trauma. You know, I was still putting together the Isis session. I was still trying to understand how she would work with me. And so this was how she came forward. She came and she showed me. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to go into exactly what she brought up, but it was unexpected, but it was really helpful. And it helped me to move forward with these really deep wounds that I had been trying to deal with. So after I had worked with her that time, it kind of calmed down for a while. I was working on different wounds. I was working on different things. But then I started to get these health issues. Like I said, it's nothing huge. It's nothing major. I have been to the doctor, and they've been, you know, clear about it. But what it needed is lifestyle changes. You know, cutting out sugar, doing more exercise, being more conscious of what I'm eating. Things that will help me to be physically stronger. Which kind of, as I look back at it, made me laugh, because I have asked on multiple times for Metatron to bring me a guide who can help me to be healthier. And I've never managed it. I try, and then I have a bad day, and I'm like, oh, let me go get some more of the chocolate. So when I asked again this time, this is how they brought it to me. Some kind of, you know, a clearing of trauma that is helping me to clear trauma, but it's also helping me to achieve a goal. It's giving me an incentive. You know, if I change my diet, I'm going to feel better. You know, before it was just like, oh, I shouldn't really do that. But there was no consequences if I did it, really. Nothing. Well, I'm sure there is in the long term, but to me in that moment, you know, to eat the chocolate made me feel better. I didn't think anything more about it. But now it's something that I have to deal with. There's consequences if I do it. And so I am doing it. It's pushing me to something that I already wanted to do. So it's helping me with that, but it also is helping my body to release trauma, which this again can be for anybody. You know, you can have something that's coming up, and it can be a mix of causes and impacts that are energetic, but also of the 3D world. You know, how many times, you know, you may have an ailment, something that we can move energies around. We can help you to clear it, but it might be something related to your diet. Is there something that you're eating that is amplifying this? Is there a specific food? What foods do you crave? You know, do you have an addiction to a certain food? Something that could, in moderation, be fine for you, but suddenly you're eating too much of it and it's throwing something out of balance. You know, there's a lot of factors that can come into a healing journey. So as I've been going through this, some things have changed, and, you know, but some of the symptoms have continued. So I keep checking in with Metatron and asking him, am I nearly done? Am I nearly done with this? How far through am I? So I've started giving him percentages. And instead, because I never trust quite how they're working with their percentages. I know my mom works with a different modality, and for her clearing, I think it's like 130% or something it goes up to. I don't know. I don't remember it exactly, so sorry, Mom, if I forgot. But I wasn't sure, so I was like, what percentage do I still have left to clear? And it's been going down little by little. You know, do I still have... I use my pendulum to do it, and I'll be like, you know, do I have 10% still to clear? Do I have 5% still to clear? And I keep going till I get a number. You know, there's a feeling of progress, that I'm moving through something, that if I'm still feeling terrible, am I at least making progress? So I've been doing that. And I got the other day that I was down to just 3%. I was like, all right, we're nearly there. But as others of you might know, on the healing process, what I have realized is the end is usually the hardest part. You know, you can clear something slowly, and then at the end it's like bam. Whereas they'll hit you with it extra hard just to clear that last piece, whatever it is that's stuck, whatever it is that you really need gone. So I was like, all right, Metatron, can you help me to clear this last 3% in the gentlest possible way? And what I could sense, what I could feel was the pull to work with Isis again. You know, for anybody that's done the Isis healing session, she's very much about empowerment, you know, about clearing your blocks, helping you to see your power. She's also a healer, you know, she's there to help you to deal with your deepest wounds. So with the Isis healing, I did a video about it, but just, you know, we help to clear some things, and then we connect your energy with Isis in a way that allows her to come in to help you with these things. And there is music, channeled music, that comes with this session that you use to connect with her, to work through the healing. You know, and it can be good for people who have a strong connection, but it also can be good if you want to work through some of these wounds, but you don't want somebody else involved. You don't want to talk to somebody else. You know, you don't want me to talk to you about it. You want to just be able to do it in your own space, in your own time. So I did the music in the beginning, and then for this, I went back to it again. I was like, all right, here we go. I went in, I set the intention, and I asked her, you know, thank you for helping me to clear this last piece in the gentlest way possible. So I put the music on, I laid myself down quietly, and I just gave her the opportunity to come to me in whatever way was right. When I work with music like this, I do it differently. Sometimes I will just be still and let them do whatever the work is. Other times I will type while they're doing it, and that's what I felt guided to this time, was just to type. You know, it's often for me when messages come, it's words coming into my head. I can hear it, not like somebody else's voice, but thoughts that are not my own. And I can just sit with my phone, just type, you know, what is it that is coming in. And I know it's not my thoughts, because it's like somebody's reading a book in my head and I'm just, you know, dictating what they're giving me. So yeah, that's what I'm going to read to you guys is the information that she gave me around this. Okay, so this relates to maternal wounding. That's the wound that I have been addressing. Not all of this message relates to that, but there are parts of it. So if you have any triggers around hearing about children, around anything around maternal wounding, just be aware of that. Look, I'm just looking at my notes to make sure that I get in everything, because yesterday they gave me all of this information and I was like typing like crazy, trying to make sure I get in all the parts of this that were important, that I could share this with you in the way that they were showing it to me. Okay, so this part, what they were saying is like, me sharing this it's giving insight that I hope can be helpful. Because a lot of my sessions deal with emotional healing. There's a lot of power in seeing your wounds, knowing where they are, understanding them, because that's how you can move forward. That's how you can heal. You know, they're giving you a target. They're giving something you can recognize in your life, something that you can see when it shows up. And when you can see something, when you can recognize it, you can come to it in a different way. You can be more conscious of the choices that you make. You can make choices that can help you to close something out, to move past it differently. If you go to a healing session, maybe there's something that you know you want to target. If you're doing self-healing, if you're in a meditation, thanking your guides for helping you to address this certain area. You know, for everybody, wounding is unique, but a lot of the message that she gave to me seemed that it could be applicable to a lot of us. And I could feel as soon as it came through that this was not just for me, this was something I was supposed to share. So I hope that this is helpful to you. I feel all the anxiety again now, but it's all right. She's gonna make me talk about my wounds. All right, so I'm gonna read through the messaging that she gave to me. when I was in the music yesterday. Okay. These are wounds of great intensity and consequence. Wounds that as they are cleared will allow you to see with new eyes. Do not fear, for all shall be well. What is now shall not always be. Trust the process and trust that what is released has brought great burden and heaviness, that now may be released so that you may be liberated in ways you have not known before. Be gentle with yourself and fear not. All that is disrupted by the expulsion of this trauma shall be righted. What you endure now is needed to move beyond what has been held. Hold tight to that knowing and do not fall to lower emotions. Wounds of such intensity come from the repetition of events of great emotion. Wounds that brought you learning on grand scale, but have also scarred and marked your energy, have found ways to hold themselves within to prevent you from finding respite from such wounding. I see Isis assisting my body with the birthing of children not whole, damaged, wounded children that would have faced challenge of great intensity if they had lived. I had known they could not be saved, known their lives could not be saved, and held them within me, shared my energy with them, a wish to keep them safe, to protect them, to nurture and to care for them, to ease the pain within my own heart. But this is not the resolution that was needed. To hold on to the pain in this way, to hold on to the wounding as well as the pain, to the energies of others does not serve. It is an anchor, a weight, slowing movement and calling forth stagnation and refusal to move forward in the areas impacted. You felt this fear as you bore your children in this time, the fear, the hesitation for what may come forth. Release yourself of what need not be of burden. Choose to be free. Choose to release all that need not be held to. This is the time to move forward, the time to rebel, the time to push back on what is safe and restricting. There is wounding too from guilt, from the refusal until it is time to set these energies free, judging it to be selfish and yet still not letting go the grip. This is the battle that ensues, the emotional showing itself in physical form, bringing a punishment as they are released that you have perceived yourself to be deserving of. Choose to let them go in light. Choose for each to be liberated and see them rise as beings of light. No anger, no energies of darkness, only light, returning from where they came, returning to source. All is well, and you need not call to yourself judgment or punishment. Let go of these thoughts and allow yourself peace. Allow yourself to find the release that is needed, to find your way forward from what has been scarred, knowing and believing that you deserve to be free, and you deserve the light that is within. As you can forgive yourself for what has gone, bring too forgiveness to those whom you have assigned blame, those you have chosen to hold responsible for actions that brought you to this place, those who have forced actions and outcomes, those who have brought you to fear and anger, to rage and resentment. Let it go and be free. These things are done and the learning is gained. You need not hold yourself in struggle and lower emotion for what were the choices of another. Find your freedom, find the compassion, and step forward in light and in hope. The healing of physical wounds takes time. The human body must find balance, must expel what is done, and calibrate itself to new ways. Be patient and know that it shall come, that to release such wounding as this is not the work of a soul of weakness. It is the work of one of great ambition, and so even as you may feel struggle within the physical form, know that it shall not last, that it is of great service on your path. And so let go, allow the release, and allow yourself compassion. Bring yourself rest and bring yourself care. Find again the love and the joy that can be within the body without fear for what has gone. You are loved and all is well. Find a place of peace and rest here a while. Allowing this work to complete and for all to be righted. Do not fight and do not resist. Allow us to assist you as you have asked for the liberation to come. So this was as the music was ending, and as that was coming to an end, I could just feel this rush of energy come through my whole body. You know, the energy of Isis, and it just felt so good. It was amazing. It was empowering, reassuring. I felt lighter. Sometimes it's how they will do things. You know, they lift things out of your energy and they'll talk you through it. They'll talk to you about the wound and how it impacted you. And all the time they're in there, they're working and they're pulling things and they're moving things around. And you're distracted by what are the words? You know, what is happening? You don't realize the depth of what they are working on. Because these energies are here to help us. You know, we came in this amazing time for healing. Amplified energies, a time when, you know, we can access more than has been possible before. When there's things that we can release that may be hard to listen to, hard to see and to clear, but we're liberating ourselves on a soul level. This is not just about what has happened to you in this time. This is about all of the times your soul has incarnated. And that's a lot to clear, a lot to lift from yourself, but it is so worth it. When you get to the other side of wounds like this, there's a sense of accomplishment, a sense of being lighter, freer. It changes your perspectives, it changes your understandings, it changes how you approach your life now. If you're not coming from a place where you are holding on to this pain, you're holding yourself back for things that are not needed in this time. You know, what could you do? What opportunities would you take? How would you feel differently about things? But yeah, I'm not going to tell you it's easy to work through this stuff, but it felt important to share this for you to see how guidance can come, how they can show you something terrible and brutal and at the same time make it something that is empowering. No, you're lifting something, you're releasing something. You know, these energies that I had held on to, they're released. It's a service often not only just to yourself, but to others. How have you been holding yourself back? But again, everybody's journey is different. This is my wounding, yours may be different, but there's a lot of elements in this that I think can resonate across them. Letting go of blame, letting go of the things we're holding to, you know, letting go of the resistance, letting ourselves receive the healing. Forgiveness, compassion. These are all energies that can help us on a healing path. As we can bring those in, as we can accept them, as we can stop. You know, for this, I think she mentioned partway through, punishment you feel deserving of. This comes up a lot in the guilt session. If you're holding yourself responsible for something, holding yourself accountable, do you feel deserving of healing? Do you feel deserving of the light? Do you feel deserving of good things in your life? Or do you feel that you deserve struggle? And so a lot of these things, it's about releasing things, letting go of judgment on yourself, letting yourself move forward unburdened of what has been held to. All right, I'm going to end this here. I hope this is helpful. Please take the pieces that are helpful to you, and anything that is not, feel free just to leave it here. But yeah, I hope this is helpful to you all. Bye.